Hi, everybody. So, with Halloween almost upon us, I decided to talk about the quintessential classic and one of my favorites, even outside of the horror genre, the 1978 film Halloween, directed by John Carpenter. Carpenter had already garnered some attention for his previous works, Dark Star and Assault on Precinct 13, and would go on to direct a number of other classics, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York, and his remake of The Thing, which might be one of the few that's on par or better than the original. So Halloween, despite becoming such a huge franchise now, originally was a low-budget independent film. The story is Carpenter wanted to remake the film Black Christmas, and parts of his script for that kind of turned into this movie. So the plot is basically a 6-year-old boy is sent away and institutionalized in the beginning after brutally murdering his sister. Some 15 years later, he escapes to return home, and needless to say, bad things are going to happen. So Halloween would really give rise to the slasher genre of the 80s, which would though up the ante in the following years of the gore and the violence and whatnot. Halloween, though, really relies more on the mood and the atmosphere, the contrast that Carpenter creates of the shots, in his filming, along with the score that Carpenter composed, too. The soundtrack has become pretty famous in its own right. It would harken back to films like Psycho, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and of course Black Christmas for its inspiration. Um, this film also is the debut of Jamie Lee Curtis, who would go on, of course, to star in such other films and classics as Fish Called Wanda, True Lies, and more recently the film Knives Out. The film also stars Donald Pleasence. Um, he was, the villain in the Bond film You Only Live Twice. Was in numerous other roles. I think he has over 200 credits to his name, in classics too, like Fantastic Voyage or The Great Escape. Also, PJ Souls has a small role in it too. She got the film part for her role in Carrie, and would be in a number of other iconic early 80s films, Rock and Roll High School, and the comedy Stripes. Um, so, of course, this film technically is about Michael Myers as, the villain. But he's not credited as that. He's only credited as the shape, as really the character Michael Myers wasn't quite established yet so much. Not expecting to be such a huge franchise originally. Interestingly, the mask that's become iconic now was originally a William Shatner mask. That was purchased for like $1 at the store and then painted and scruffed up a little bit to give it its frightening effect that it has now. Another funny tidbit too is child actress Kylie Richards features in the movie, and she now is one of the Real Wives of Beverly Hills. Um, anyway, so I recommend you check this out. It's available on Hoopla, and happy Halloween.